Hey everybody, this is Joshua with the Tendinitis Expert, and this video is about thumb joint pain basics. So something really basic, the thumb has three joints that we can be talking about. They're at the end, they're in the middle, and they're at the base of the thumb. So what causes thumb joint pain? There's basically three main categories. You have impact, like you get hit with a hammer, or you jam your thumb, or get caught in a car door. There's the tendinitis dynamic, which essentially causes tightness and compression of the joint. And there's arthritis, which comes in the form of osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So let's start with impact. Impact is pretty basic. You fall down, you get hit with a hammer in the thumb, you jam your thumb while you're playing or wrestling or reaching for something in the kitchen, you get your thumb caught in a car door or somebody actually steps on it. Any number of ways are possible to get essentially a bruise to the thumb joint. So let's say that's one side of the thumb joint, this is the other side of the thumb joint. If you get any kind of impact, you can bruise the interior. So the interior lining of the joint, and potentially even the bone itself, can swell. So then, like all bruises, they're tender, they're painful, and very likely that inflamed, unhappy tissue is pressing on itself. So there's potentially some pressure happening while the swelling inflammation pushes that way, the swelling inflammation pushes that way, and then you're moving the joint around, and that's going to not only hurt, but cause further pain and irritation. So that one's pretty obvious. The important thing to know there is the inflammation side, where your actual joint swells and compress on itself, and that causes more pain and lasting pain. Then there's the tendinitis dynamic. So tendinitis, very basically simply, let's say muscles are too tight, it's pulling on the tendon, so it's pulling the tendon that way, and the tendon comes up here and attaches to the thumb. So you can imagine if the muscles are tight, they're contracting, they're pulling on the tendon that way, they attach here, so they're pulling that way there. So essentially, on one, two, or all three joints, you can have the joint compressing. Tight muscles pull it into itself, so it's compressing into itself. And that essentially means that one surface and the other surface, they're now essentially pushing on each other, and they're grinding. So every time you move your thumb joint back and forth, or up and down, or you go circles anywhere, that joint is now grinding on itself because it's pushing together, it's compressed. And that is going to cause pain and problem. So we don't really think of tendinitis as causing joint pain, but tendinitis can cause actual joint pain by compressing the joint and thus causing irritation to the joint. And then there's arthritis. So arthritis essentially means inflammation of the joint. Specifically for the thumb joint, it's not really different than anywhere else. You have either osteoarthritis or you have rheumatoid arthritis. Potentially you can have both. Osteoarthritis really is a result of the tendinitis dynamic. Because, again, that compression causes the joint to grind. And when the joint grinds on itself long enough, it's going to get irritated and painful. And when that happens long enough, the interior joint lining will get damaged. And then it can get worse from there. So that's osteoarthritis. You want to get rid of it? Fix the tendinitis dynamic. Or you have rheumatoid arthritis. And rheumatoid arthritis is a totally separate scenario than osteoarthritis. So rheumatoid arthritis isn't really a joint problem. Rheumatoid arthritis is a gut ecology problem. So imagine there's your digestive tract, and you have particles of food in there digesting. When that food is gluten and sugar and processed vegetable oil, for instance, then the lining of the digestive tract gets irritated. When it's irritated for long enough, it gets damaged. And when it gets damaged, then you get little tiny holes in the digestive tract. And when you get little tiny holes in the digestive tract, then you can get little particles of digesting food dripping out into your bloodstream. And when that happens, sorry for the Pac-Man picture here, but that's good as any, then your immune system which is the Pac-Man here, the immune system has to go after those quote-unquote invaders because it shouldn't be out in the bloodstream. And then your immune system gets confused and essentially it starts attacking your joints. And that is rheumatoid arthritis, which is a very common cause of thumb joint pain. So how do we get rid of thumb joint pain? That's a bad question mark. How do we get rid of thumb joint pain? And I'm just assuming that you want to actually get rid of the thumb joint pain instead of just suppress the symptoms. All my work on tendinitisexpert.com is all about going after the causes of problems so the problem goes away. Rheumatoid arthritis drugs, they just suppress symptoms, but they don't address the cause at all, and that's why people have rheumatoid arthritis for the rest of their lives, which is too bad because they don't need to. So how do you get rid of thumb joint pain? If it's with an impact and a bruise, you need to ice dip. That's one of the best ways to help a bone bruise, a joint bruise, heal faster. Not really heal, but get rid of inflammation, get rid of irritation. Ice dip a lot. If you want to get rid of the tendinitis dynamic, then you need to get rid of the 3 factors that cause tendinitis, which is tightness, inflammation process, and nutritional insufficiency. Tendinitis is not a problem with a spot right there. Tendinitis is a dynamic, and it's a problem of the entire area, including your nutritional status. So if you want to get rid of thumb joint pain that's caused by tendinitis, you got to get rid of the tendinitis dynamic. Same with osteoarthritis. If you want to get rid of osteoarthritis, you need to remove the compression so that joints that are grinding on each other, again, have a little bit of space, a little bit of freedom all right through there. And then they're no longer grinding on each other, they're no longer constantly irritating the tissue, and the damage stops and heals, and everybody's happy. Rheumatoid arthritis, you have to repair your damaged gut ecology. So you need to heal it, remove the inflammation, fix your nutritional status, etc., so that you no longer have holes in your digestive tract. And then you will no longer have the autoimmune response, and then you will no longer have the rheumatoid arthritis. And then you'll no longer have the thumb joint pain. Yay! So if you'd like to find out more about thumb joint pain, visit my website, tendinitisexpert.com, and find the appropriate page.